Hi everyone, welcome back to my kitchen. I'm Jacqueline and this is lowcarblish, the channel where we make low carb versions of our favorite high carb foods, try to reduce our blood sugar and reverse type 2 diabetes. Today we are going to be making a frittata that is bacon, cheese, and kohlrabi, which is what we're going to use for a potato substitute, and it is going to be fantastic. It's a little bit over 6 net carbs per serving, and only 444 calories, so it makes a really good meal. I don't know if you guys are familiar with kohlrabi or not. I was not when I first started eating low carb, and it was introduced to me, and it has been a game changer for me. So this is what kohlrabi looks like. I've already trimmed the edges of it off because the edges are real fibrous and hard on both ends. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, and I'll just cut into this a little bit more and let you see what it looks like on the inside. And you're going to cut down to this, and I've done that on the back, and then I'm just going to go around and peel the rest of it. And after I do that, I'm going to grate it with my box grater. You can use a food processor or a hand grater, whatever you've got. And then this is what the kohlrabi looks like after it's grated. Now, one thing that I'll tell you, a little secret on this, is I'm going to put this on some paper towels and put a little bit of salt on it and let it sit while I'm sauteing the veggies and everything. And that will take a lot of the moisture out, and it's going to make them act and taste even more like a potato, but they're not. So this recipe, I'm going to have everything written down in the bottom for you, all the amounts and everything. I'm just kind of going to go over what we're using today. We're going to have 3 cups of kohlrabi here that are grated up. I've got half an onion. I've got 2 button mushrooms. I've got 2 stalks of celery. I've got 3 pieces of bacon that are cut up, and that's what we're going to use to saute the vegetables with the butter. I've got a half a cup of bell pepper, or actually it's more like a half a bell pepper, but I've got yellow, green, and red all mixed up because I like the little color in it. It makes it pretty. And then we've got 3/4 of a cup of cottage cheese, and I know that might sound weird to some of you, but trust me, it works. And we've got 5 eggs, and y'all, I got these free-range eggs this week, and look how beautiful and orange they are. They're gorgeous. I've got a little bit of coriander. I think, in fact, I know it's a half a teaspoon of coriander, half a teaspoon of garlic, half a teaspoon of salt, and half a teaspoon of pepper. And then I've got a teaspoon of butter that we're going to add in with the bacon because we've got so many vegetables that we're sauteing. So let me get this peeled and grated. I'll come back and show you what I'm doing with the kohlrabi on the paper towels, and then when we come back we'll go to the stove and get the vegetables sauteing and get all that goodness going, and then we'll get our frittata put together and pop it in the oven, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so we're back. I've got the kohlrabi peeled and grated. Like I said, you can use your food processor and shred it up. I've got it just laying on some paper towels right now, and what I did was I laid it out and spread it out and put a little salt on it, and what we're doing is getting this liquid out so you can see how much water is coming out of it already. And after we get through sauteing these other veggies, I'm going to dab the top of this with another paper towel and flip it over, and then we'll mix it in. It's going to be good, y'all. These things taste so much like regular potatoes, it's amazing. And if you can't find kohlrabi, you can totally do this recipe with turnips. You just need to, check your carbs and your calories if you change that part of the recipe up. But hopefully you'll be able to find some kohlrabi. It's a fall, winter vegetable, so hopefully they'll have it at your grocery store. If they don't, ask them if they can get it. They might surprise you. So I'm going to go set up on the stove here. We're going to get the veggies sauteed up and ready to go, and then we'll put it all together and put it in the oven, and before you know it, we're going to be eating a frittata that is out of this world. Alright y'all, so I'm over at the stove now, and we're getting ready to saute the vegetables and the bacon. And the first thing I'm going to do, this is 3 slices of bacon that I've just cut up in little pieces. And so we're going to put that in the pan. And my little bowls here are plastic, so I got to make sure I don't set them on the hot stove. And then we're doing half an onion with it. And I'm putting in, like I said, this is about a half a bell pepper, but it's just 3 different colors of bell pepper because I like the color in it. I think it's pretty. And then some celery. and some mushrooms. Now, anything that I'm putting in here that you don't have or you don't like, it's totally optional, you know, but this is what I like. It's what I have available, so that's what we're doing today. So I have got a tablespoon of butter here that I'm going to put down in the middle of this, and we're already going to have bacon grease cooking up with this, so it'll be plenty of grease and oil, and then I probably will have to drain some of it off, but I'd rather have too much than not enough when I'm cooking. And so I've got coriander and garlic here, and I like to put half of my seasoning into the veggies and then save the other half for the egg mixture. Same thing with the salt and pepper here, and because I like to flavor all the layers, you know. So I'm just going to stir this up and get my spices and everything kind of stirred up in with it. And we're going to let that bacon start frying and the butter melting. And y'all, I'm telling you, this is so very good. So I'm just going to cover these up and let them cook, and we'll take a break and we'll be back in just a few minutes when these are getting closer to ready. Okay, y'all, so my veggies are just about done here. I'm going to just let you look in the pan. This is what we're looking for. They're wilted and translucent and looking great. Your bacon's going to be about halfway cooked, maybe a little more, and that's what we're looking for. So I'm going to take this off of the heat, and it's got to cool off for about 10 minutes because we can't add the hot veggies into the egg mixture. So I'm going to let it cool off for about 5 or 10 minutes until it cools off some, and then we're going to mix it up with the egg mixture. I am going to show you what the kohlrabi's doing and how we're going to get it in the bowl, and then when we come back we'll get everything mixed together. So my kohlrabi's been sitting over here, and like I said, I put that salt, and you see how much liquid it's releasing on the paper towels here. And so what I'm going to do is come back in on top of it with this paper towel. And you guys, if you use turnips, do the same thing with your turnips, because one of the things that helps the vegetables get that more potato flavor and the more potato texture is getting a lot of the moisture out. So what I usually do is just do like this and turn it. Let me get a, hold on y'all, here we go. I usually go like this and just turn this over so that the drier paper towels are on the bottom, and push this down because I don't want any of it to stick. So I just pull the paper towels off of it like that, and then I will get one more paper towel and do a little more blotting to get the rest of the moisture off of it. And they're really good right now. They're about the perfect as how I like them to do when I put in my casseroles. So then you're just going to put them in your bowl, just like so. And that's it, guys, until we get through. Like I said, I'm going to let the veggies cool off for about 5 or 10 minutes. And then when we come back, we're going to mix everything up, put it in the pan, and put it in the oven. And then it won't be too long, we'll be eating. Okay, y'all, so we're done with the veggies cooling off and everything. So I'm going to take my eggs, and I've got 5 eggs in here, and I'm just going to blend them really well. And I'm going to add my spices to the eggs because I really want the spices to be in the egg mixture too. So I'm going to add my spices to my eggs, get that stirred up. And I need to get my little spatula here because some of them are sticking to the side of my bowl. And we don't want that, we want it all incorporated. So get those off in there. Okay, so we've got here the kohlrabi that we just put in the bowl. And I'm going to add my vegetables in with the kohlrabi. This is the bacon, the onion, all that delicious flavored goodness. We're going to mix that in. Then we're going to add our eggs and mix these in. And y'all, I'm telling you, this is some kind of fabulous. I used to work with this guy named Will, and he would get me tickled sometimes because he would talk about cooking food and then getting food, and he'd say, just grab it and growl, girl. So I just laugh at him about that. Alright, so we're just going to stir the eggs and the veggies in with the kohlrabi here. And This is supposed to be a thick mixture. It's not supposed to be like super eggy. And we're putting cheese and everything in with it too, and it is going to be magnificent. All right, so next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add my cottage cheese in here. And like I said, this sounds weird, but it really does work. You can also use ricotta if you want to. And I've done that before, but I like the cottage cheese in it too. And we're gonna mix that all in. And then we've got our block of Colbyjack. And I wanted to tell you guys something too. When you're buying cheese, be careful when you buy blocks of cheese. There is a brand called Carbs that I absolutely love, and I was using it for a while and just putting on my thing, zero carbs, because most cheese have 0 carbs in it. But Carbs Colbyjack has a carb per ounce. So if you used Carbs in this recipe, instead of a recipe that had 0 carbs in it, you'd be adding 8 carbs to the entire recipe. So it's just something to think about. If you got enough carbs for the day, it's not a big deal. But if you're, you know, really watching your carbs, just be aware of that. So I'm gonna put almost all of this cheese in here, and I'm leaving about, I'm saying an ounce or 2 here, and I'm gonna put that over the top after it's been baking. But look at this, you guys. The kohlrabi is in here. That's going to be our potato substitute. We've got all that delicious bacon, the peppers, the onions, the celery, all the spices in here. So yummy. And this is easy, and this is your whole meal. You can have this as a whole meal. You've got your veggies, you've got your cheese for your fats, you've got bacon and eggs as your protein, and it's filling and delicious. So just get it, put it in your casserole dish. I'm using an 8x8, but you could do a 9x9, it'd be fine too. I just grabbed the first thing that I had my hands on in the cabinet, but you could totally use 9x9 if that's what you have. And we're going to put this in the oven, and we're going to cook it for about 25 minutes. And then I'm going to come in and put the cheese on the top of it for the last 5 minutes. And then we're going to be having this beautiful casserole. And you guys, I truly believe you're going to love it. So let me get this put in the oven, and I'll be back in I'll be back in about 25 minutes when it's done, and we'll put the cheese on it. I'll see you in a few. Alright y'all, so the frittata's been cooking for about 25 minutes now. And I'm going to take it out of the oven and let y'all get a close-up look of it. And I'm going to put the rest of the cheese on top of it, stick it under the broiler for about 5 minutes. Maybe not even that long. Just long enough to get the cheese melty and gooey and delicious. And I just love all the colors in it. All the different colored peppers and all that good stuff. And it is so filling, y'all. And this is 4 servings, so I mean you can see it's going to be a really big serving, which makes a perfect 1-plate meal. Alright y'all, so let me get this under the broiler for just a few minutes, and as soon as it gets through, we'll take it out of the oven, let it cool off for a few minutes, and then we'll be eating frittata, honey. Okay y'all, so the casserole's been in there for about 4 minutes, and the cheese is all nice and bubbly. And y'all have a look at that, y'all. That is some kind of delicious. So I'm going to let that cool off for just a few minutes, and as soon as it cools off, I'm going to plate some up, and we'll be eating some frittata, and we're going to talk about our Motivational Monday quote today. So we'll be back in just a few minutes. Okay y'all, so the frittata's cooled off a little bit. I'm going to cut it and plate it up and let you see this deliciousness. And like I said, this makes 4 servings, and it is a big serving. So this is your whole meal, or it would be my whole meal. So you could, of course, add what you want according to what you like. But I mean, look how beautiful, you guys. The colors, the peppers in there. It is really nice, and it is gooey and cheesy and delicious. So let me get over to the table, because remember, this is Motivation Monday, so we've got a Motivation Monday quote we're going to talk about. Okay, y'all, so it's time for the taste test. Let's try this and see. I love this stuff. And it's just like an explosion of flavor in your mouth, you know, and cheesy, and the kohlrabi in there. You guys, I love it. I'm gonna get a drink here. So to me, this is like one of the perfect meals that I make because it's all in one pan. It's all on one plate. Like I said, my veggies, my protein, everything, my fats are all in this one meal. And it's a big, nice size. It's going to be very filling for me. So our Motivation Monday quote today is, "Believe you can and you're halfway there." And that was by Teddy Roosevelt. And that has really been true for me in my low carb journey, as well as just in life. You know, if we believe we can do something, then we totally can do it. And I hope that you're believing in yourself, because I totally believe in you guys. I know we can get there and we can do it. I've seen too many people lose tons of weight, get down into the 4s with their A1C, and we're all different, so it might take us all a different amount of time, but we can do it and we can get there, and we can do it together as a community and a family. So I hope that you guys will try this recipe, and I hope that you like it. As usual, please come to the comment and let me know if you try it and let me know what you think. If you would hit that like button for me, I really appreciate it, because it really does help people that have just been diagnosed to find my channel. And you know, we all know what it felt like when we first got diagnosed, how terrifying it can be. So I really want people to find the channel so they don't have to be terrified, and they can find that there's a community of us out here doing the same thing, and that they can do it too. And so you guys can play a part in that as well. So I appreciate that. If you like the recipes, if you would subscribe, I would really appreciate that. Hit that little notification bell and you'll never miss another recipe that we have. And until next time, be well, be healthy, and be happy. Thanks a lot, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.